Glorious.
Oh my.
Are you guys ready to go here?
Hey,
man, I just
We're ready.
found a new career.
We're waiting for you.
High school teacher.
You'd be such a great one.
Let's start the show. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Youth Ministry Garage.
Careers for me.
Episode 187. Before the show started, we're finding new careers for Matt McGill.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe
Easy.
there's a job at our primary sponsor, Youth Specialties.
Hey, there you go. Try to work that angle.
And our
I would
other
love it if you were
sponsors,
my barista.
Azusa, Youth Ministry 360, Remedy Live, and Leader Treks. You know what? Speaking of Azusa, once you get your master's from Azusa,
Yes.
you'll be more marketable.
That's true.
Do I need to be marketable? Is that what we decided?
No, we just decided you're
Gentle.
No, just be
gentle
yourself.
spirit.
Gentle spirit.
Matt had a rough day at
Yeah.
work today. It didn't. It's not career ending. It's not. It's just defeating.
Yeah.
Just
Well, and a person who is mentally stronger, it wouldn't even be that big of a
That's
deal.
true.
But Matt is a little bit tender these days. Off his
That was funny.
Oh, gosh.
It's
Anyway, welcome to the Youth Ministry Garage. The one talking
all
all
work for Kurt
the
Johnston.
most is Josh Griffin.
Hello?
Matt McGill and the Queen, Katie Edwards. I'm Douglas Montgomery Fields, and we are here as the Youth Ministry Garage show
There it is.
187. Summer cooking.
Yeah. this
Hope
is
you're
great.
doing well. This is a weird time for youth workers. Busy, tired, off, running, go.
Exactly.
New
Well, we're
kids
Fun.
transitioning, kids leaving, fun,
Exactly.
memory making, budget busting, trouble causing
True,
youth
yes.
trips.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. We got a lot. We're going to give away some product from Youth Specialties. We're going to give away a free convention.
convention?
Oh, yeah, free convention.
To watch our episode 200 live.
Live.
Yes.
That's such a good gift.
I know.
It
It is a good gift.
To see us.
No.
Just the convention?
A convention.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a little discussion with Matlock yesterday about it because, you know,
He doesn't want to do a live one?
no one wants to do a live. They want to do a live one. Just be careful how many you give away because, you know, I totally understand.
Sure.
You
But
got a
we're,
business to run.
yeah, I mean, we can give away these cheap little books from Youth Ministry 360 and Leader Treks, but giving away a full convention. But we're going to give that away. We're going to give away the APU Academic Pack. We're going to give away a discount to Youth Sphere. We're going to give away. Josh, do you have any codes for Download Youth Ministry?
DownloadYouthMinistry.com. Do a promo code YMGarage, 10% off.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Garage.
10% off
Yeah.
a $3 item.
Sounds like
Yeah, so it's
'Cause
basically
nothing's
free.
more than $3.
Yeah.
Here we go.
There's a few things more than $3.
Don't
Your
talk about
stuff.
it. Joel Mulligan from Dothan, Alabama. Hey team, I need some wisdom. I've been a youth pastor for 9 years, and I'm finally ready to admit something.
Eek.
I don't enjoy preaching. This makes me feel like a horrible student pastor and Christian for that fact. I love building relationships with students and seeing them grow in the Lord, but I don't enjoy preaching, and preaching is something that I do year-round 2 to 3 times a week. Does that make me a terrible youth pastor? Should I be a full-time youth pastor if I feel this way? Am I selling the students short? I don't feel like a surgeon. I don't feel like a surgeon who doesn't like to do paperwork. I feel like a surgeon who doesn't like to do surgery.
Okay.
Thanks for lending your ears. Sorry, I hacked that last
No,
part
it's good.
there.
We're
That
tracking.
makes sense.
Got it.
That,
So it's not a temporary feeling. This guy is in the thick of not liking to teach.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, my first crack at it is don't teach 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
That may be part of the problem.
That might not be good for anybody.
Yeah.
In fact, it's not. I
Yeah.
don't think.
Well, I've heard Matt teach 2 or 3 times, and
Ever.
2 to 3 times a year.
Well,
I'm done.
you're not going to be able to hit 3 home runs a week. There's
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah, you'll get burned out real quick.
yeah.
I like it.
So that
I
would
don't
be
love it.
that would be. Let me pause you
Yeah.
just for a second. The question would be if he taught once a week or if he taught
Yeah.
twice a week, would that change things?
Right.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
the suggestion.
Pause. Go, Katie.
I like.
Go, Katie. Go.
I like preaching. I wouldn't say. I mean, like, I love it, and it is, my one true passion in youth ministry. I think it's fun, and I enjoy it, but I only preach once or twice a month. We have multiple services, so it's definitely not preparing 3 different messages a week. That to me would be so overwhelming, because even just preparing 1 message a week, I think, is time consuming, and you pour your heart into that. So Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I kind of can understand and identify. I don't think that you're a bad youth pastor because you don't enjoy a part of youth ministry. I think there's all parts of youth ministry we could kind of say, I'll do this. It's not my favorite, but I know that it's important. I know that preaching to my students is important, so I want to be a part of it, but I think finding a couple other people that could partner with you
Strong.
would be great.
My only fear is that in most churches, even most youth ministries, we equate the teacher, the person up front, the speaker, with leadership, pastoral gifting, all of the above. Even the whole tenor of the ministry rises and falls on the quality of communication at youth group or at the service or whatever. So I'm hearing you, but I would say, unfortunately, too often they are required. If you're going to be the leader, you're going to be the pastor, you also have to be the teacher communicator.
Do you think it has to?
I don't think you have to do it all the time. I think you can do it less. I teach about half the time, and I hope that I'm a good leader still. But I totally
don't
understand.
You think you're a better leader because you don't teach every week?
Absolutely. Trying to prepare a talk and lead a youth ministry is
so
really difficult.
Yeah.
If I'm not teaching, I am a great leader. Oh yeah. So I have to do both more often than I'd like to, and I think that's a necessary requirement of my job description and I probably enjoy it a little bit more than our friend. But it's hard work.
Yeah.
It's hard work to create a good talk. It's not easy.
And you're the hardest working youth pastor.
You got that right. Yeah.
Or at your church anyway.
Yeah. North America.
Matt and I ran into some issues a few years ago when we were both doing high school ministry. I was the primary leader/teacher. Matt is moving up through the ranks. I go to say to our church, Matt should be the high school pastor. And the pushback was, well, Matt doesn't teach very often.
Yes,
and to me that was an old broken paradigm.
Yes.
Because I said, Matt's one of the best leaders I know. Your paradigm is broken that you're thinking if to lead a youth ministry you have to be the primary teacher, and I can give you several examples of churches that are actually large churches where you don't have to be the primary voice. Now, you can lead through announcements, you can lead through welcome, you can lead through a benediction, a pastoral call. It doesn't have to be your primary gift. So I think it's a old school paradigm, but it's one that most of us have bought into, that if you're the leader, you have to be the teacher.
Well, and a lot of youth pastors you meet, though, would say, like, teaching is my passion. Or
that's true.
I feel like
That's
I
true.
run into a lot of people who would say. So I think even just if you're in a community of youth pastors, a lot of them are like, I have to teach every week. It's totally who I am.
I don't want to pastor, but I want to teach. almost to a fault, too. Yeah.
Matt, quiet down, because
noise.
we're going to have to turn the mute on you. Anyway,
there was too much wisdom over here.
There was too much
didn't want to
wisdom.
crack into that.
Why don't we send Joel the APU academic
everything
pack?
I put in your script.
And the APU academic kit includes what, Josh?
It includes purpose-driven youth ministry, first 2 years youth ministry, and what matters most.
Nothing says more academic than those three
Yes.
books that are at least in this garage anyway.
I like it. Yeah, I just saw a copy right there.
Yep, there you go. I don't know if you've ever seen that cover before. It's this new orange.
No, I know. It's this. You know what? If you hold on long enough, this cover's going to make a comeback.
Taco salad is almost back in.
And orange is not that far. I mean, it's coming right now. You got
love a good
it. You
taco
got this.
We just slapped 10th anniversary on there, and even though it's probably 12
The sticker.
or 13.
The sticker.
It has to be more than
I
10,
know.
right?
Yeah,
Look at those endorsements on here. This is a who's who.
90. So, yeah, 12 years.
Let's see. You were born in anyhow.
42.
No.
All right,
You don't look bad.
here's a question from Laura Rafferty from somewhere in the UK. So I'm not even sure how to send people stuff from the UK. So why don't we send? We don't know how to send
digital.
stuff. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
send some from Download Youth Ministry.
Yeah,
Can you
let's
do
do
that?
it. Absolutely. Yeah. Can you? Are you gonna hand that to me?
I don't know. Yeah.
Absolutely.
No,
You got it.
I'll have Deb forward it.
There it is.
All right. How do you handle constant disappointment in ministry? Hey, Matt. I've been sharing the vision for youth ministry to my church leadership.
Safe place to be vulnerable.
Yeah. Don't worry.
And they
it's just us.
And they say no to every idea I come up with, yet complain there are no young people at church.
Yeah.
Oh, young people.
No, young.
So how do you handle constant disappointment in ministry? Matt, you want to talk about that?
Oh, that is. We just both wrote blogs about that the other day.
That's right.
That's right.
When I want to quit.
When I feel like quitting.
When I feel like quitting.
When I feel
Matt's,
like quitting.
when a good one, go to my blog.
I linked to both of you. I thought they were
That's
both
right.
exceptional.
I'm sure.
Diplomat right here.
Political.
No, I think disappointment can be a good thing because it's a great opportunity to do some thinking. And I think that ultimately where you're going to come down to is you either need to change your situation or you need to change yourself. Probably a combination of both. And more often than not, you probably need to change more on the inside what's going on. I mean, I think that's just how it kind of, for me, boils down. Disappointment's tough. I think that you, in your relationships with the people that you're disappointed with, you still want to try and look past that and hear what they're saying, to see that there might be some legitimate concerns or criticisms or ideas or whatever. And so I think that the problem with disappointment is that it colors everything. And so you don't want to, shelve it away and say that's not there, I don't have a right to be disappointed or just ignore it. But at the same time, you don't want it to, just color everything, impact, influence everything you're looking at, you're hearing, and stuff like that.
I would jump in and say you have to adjust your expectations of them because they are saying something, but doing it is very difficult. And so youth ministry can turn on a dime. You can just change everything you want instantly if you have that kind of freedom in your ministry. And a big church, an adult setting, usually talks about changing and doesn't really change, but they talk about it a lot. And so you're going, I have these expectations because I can just turn and move and do this, and you guys are talking about it and nothing is happening. And so I think just celebrate the little steps and do not expect big significant change. And I think that's hard to do because you love the church and you want young people to be at the church.
Yeah.
So I think you've got to go, you know what, every little nudge is still something positive. It might be really small.
Yeah.
So adjust your expectations of yourself or the other person?
Of yourself on what they're really asking for. Because I think people in adult ministry have gotten really good at saying, we want to reach the next generation, let's do this. And then when push comes to shove, they aren't willing to budget, fund, change, let someone go, hire someone new, tear something down, remove some. They are just not willing to do that. That's a pretty massive generalization, so forgive me.
Yeah.
But usually they're like, let's do this, and then when it comes, you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So be okay with every little thing, because your expectations are huge. Yeah. A little bit pessimistic about big church. Sorry
You
about
got
that.
anything, Kate? You're never disappointed, are you?
No.
Come on.
Only with this
Disappointment.
podcast.
Huh?
There's
See?
disappointments at times.
Let's at the count of 3 point to the person who gets disappointed the most. Okay? Let's just play a game. Who we think gets disappointed the most. Ready?
Oh, this is an easy game.
1,
No,
2,
no.
3.
You! What are you talking about?
Disappointed with you.
No.
Oh, I thought you said who gets
get
disappointed with Matt the most. I don't know.
You think I get disappointed more than you?
Absolutely.
Really,
Especially
Josh?
in the work
No,
the
I
work
was just
days.
total bit. It's obviously Matt. I do think
I'm
you
way
carry
more.
you
It's
definitely
obviously Matt. Let's just.
you get disappointed.
Yeah.
I think people would look at you and go, "Man, his life, man, this is so."
Yeah.
But you're the real life.
Yeah.
It's not all.
There's a difference between a moment of disappointment and an attitude of being disappointed often.
Right.
Right. Different. I mean,
Right.
I think those are two. I think there are
Yeah.
little disappointments every day. There's
Well,
little things.
I
I'm
wouldn't say any
also
of us
impatient
live.
and expressive, and so you're so what I mean. So I get disappointed. I say something about it, and then usually do something about it.
But none of us are terribly pessimistic or live in a constant state of discouragement or disappointment.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, is your phone going? You didn't turn it on, huh?
You blogging right now?
Dude, I got auto
you
Twitters.
doing
What are you
auto
talking
Twitters?
about?
Auto Twitters. What is that?
Are those
Keep it
bad?
real.
Is
Keep
that
it
what
real,
you're
Feeling
doing?
authentic.
Oh.
Yeah. Plus,
I'm
I wonder
disappointed
why
in
you
you.
tweet so much. Is that why you send out so many tweets? Is because
You
you
just
write like 8 at one time and they just
tweet
fly
it
out
later.
the other
Tweet
day?
it later. Tweet it later.
You've
Yeah.
had some pretty funny ones lately.
Usually the funny ones are the ones that I think are funny, and a lot of times I'll Twitter something just because I know Meech will laugh, and so the whole world gets to enjoy them.
Yeah.
Those are right away. No. But what I'm doing for my blog, like if I post a blog, I'll send 2 Twitters on that blog on 2 different days. So that's why. 2
each day?
No. 2
One
total
way to
Twitters,
go
1 on
with
each
it.
day.
All right. Let's raise your
Social
hand
media
out there.
strategy.
Raise your hand out there if you're disappointed that Matt
Twitter
times his tweets.
Hootsuite.
Hootsuite.
I feel disillusioned by that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We thought we knew you.
I'm so disappointed.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I'm
So what I do when I'm
in.
easily disappointed, I share it with friends. That's what I do.
Good. It's really
Yeah,
good.
it's just another action step. Said through.
Another outlet.
Just express it.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to join the podcast anytime, just jump right in.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Clint has a
I'm either
question.
join the podcast or I'm talking over everybody. It's like one or the other.
No. There's another option.
Let's go back to all 183. Each one there's.
187.
But Gil, you needed. We've got 187 already.
187. Yeah.
Wow. There's a lot of
Yeah,
shows.
I know. All right, don't read my name. I'm a volunteer youth pastor in a small church in East Texas. I've been a youth pastor for 2 years now, and I feel like I've seen growth in many areas. We bus in 75% of our students, and I feel like I have to continue going over a lot of the same topics repeatedly. Over the past 6 months, I've been trying to take my personal devotion prayer life to the next level and to go deeper in the Lord so that I can lead students in deeper walks as well. My problem is I feel like the ministry and possibly me are surface level in the Lord. I've only been saved for 4 years and deeply and growing every day. How can I change my devotion and my personal time with God to begin to take myself deeper and also the youth ministry of the church deeper?
That's a great question.
That is a great question.
So Matt, since you're deep in contemplation, since you're deep in quietness, since you're deep in disappointment, why don't you speak from that well of disappointment?
Deep in get, that's for sure.
You're easy to get today.
Yeah, he is. It's so vulnerable.
I'm just letting you guys talk for one question.
That's good. We appreciate that.
You appreciate that. I think that the first place to start is to really define what you mean by deep. I mean, I think we've been criticized for years that you have a big ministry, so is it deep? And the way that you say it is deep is obedience, right?
Yeah.
I think I love that part on the Great Commission, teach them to obey. I love messages that are practical because that seems to take that command faithful. So I think you have to have a real sharp understanding on what it means to be deep. That's one thing. I think a second thing is that following Jesus, being a Christian for 4 years, everybody's faith is different, and so this is a generalization. I'm not saying it's true for everybody, but when you're a Christian for 4 years, you really haven't hit that deep valley or that slow time of growth. I mean, I feel like you're the first 4 years for somebody, you can have a lot of rapid growth, especially if you're in ministry and serving, and rapid growth is great. For so many things to change in your own life is awesome, and it's great that you want to see that happen in others, but I think you need to realize that what's happening to you is not going to happen to most of your students. And that's part of what it means to be in ministry, is that you're discipling people who don't want to be discipled. And that sucks. That is the rub. That is the pain. That is the conflict where you've been loving Jesus and you know how great it is, and you just want other students to come alongside and do the same thing. And it is so disappointing because most are on that wide and very few are on that narrow. But I think that if you could do this soul searching to say, okay, here's what I mean by deep, and figure out what that is, then you can go after it a little bit better. But I also think, looking at where you're at, you haven't been a Christian for that long, and 4 years is great and it's awesome, and 2 of it's been in ministry, which I think adds another layer of complexity where you're already a relatively new Christian and now you're responsible for the spiritual growth of others. I'm not saying it's bad or anything like that. I'm just saying is that colors your perspectives. Those are the two things I got to say.
I wish you wouldn't talk so much.
I knew that was coming next.
Anything you guys want to add?
I just like the piece of, remember your audience, know who your students are and where they're at. And I think part of being a great youth pastor and being a great discipler is meeting each student where they're at individually. I don't know if you can collectively take a group deep. It's just such a individual journey. So
my thought actually ties in well with that too. I was thinking the ratio of leaders and students will probably have more to do with depth than a lot of other factors. Obviously, your personal walk with God is the most essential, but it was speaking 1 to a dozen students, that's going to be hard to ever get depth, especially if your ministry grows. But if you can keep the one-on-one mentoring, one-on-one time with students, the closer you get inside to someone's life and their faith, that is some deep ministry as well. So I would really encourage you to get your small groups really small and really value one-on-one time with people. So I think that's the most memorable. That's the most significant. I love teaching. I love being up front. I love all that stuff.
It's measurable when a leader is connected to them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the program that you have where you're busing in a ton of people, you might not ever be able to go, whatever your definition of deep is, you might not be able to go there. But to attach a different program,
a next step, and maybe you need to have small groups out in the communities where the 75% is being bussed in. Maybe you still need to have next steps out there. I mean, if you're feeling like there's a lot of turnover, that's where the lack of depth is coming from. I think you still need to have next steps out there, but then maybe your next steps are really primarily for the kids that do live close and but next step's important, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Good. Well, one of the things I heard is I want to go deeper. I want to go to the next level. The ministry and myself are surface. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate the fact that they're holding up the mirror and wanting to take their journey deeper. I think sometimes as new Christians, we just be careful about when I hear words like next level and go deeper, that my faith becomes mechanical, and so that next level sometimes equates to another book I have to read, or a Bible study I have to attend, or another
night out,
or a check, something I got to check off the box, and
or more information, having more facts.
We think that makes us deeper.
It just makes us confusing.
Well, there's a fine line in becoming pharisaical and wanting to go deeper for the sake of being deeper. But I think I'd find somebody who has a genuine love and relationship with Jesus, who's walking with Jesus, who you look at their life and you just go, hey, can we hang out? I want to learn from your rhythms of life. Yeah. And that person is not going to say, read 3 chapters a day and call me at the end of the week. And there's going to be something different about that. And so anyway, good question. And to this person who remains anonymous from the small church in East Texas, we're going to send you this fabulously looking, wonderful book from Youth Ministry 360, one of our great sponsors, called New. It's First Steps for New Christ Followers.
Not Christians. Christ followers.
That's right. New. You are new. This is the type of book. I was in a youth specialties meeting yesterday, and we were talking about giveaways at the general sessions. Like, publishers in the old days used to give stuff away in the general sessions, but, there's 7,000 youth workers coming to these 2 conferences.
Yeah.
This is the kind of book you give away, because then a youth worker buys 10 of them. Yeah. You don't give away a book like, whatever, some Refuel. Because Refuel would be an excellent book to buy 10 of, especially DougFields.com. But it's something like this. I'm excited about this.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
I'm excited about this book. So anyway,
did you read it?
No, I got it on my desk.
It's new.
Yeah. Did I say last week that we're going to roll it out this fall? Once I get through it and make sure that's exactly what I'm looking for, we're going to use it
exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah,
exactly.
So exact. But I like Andy a lot.
Exact on anything.
All right, I'm going to use it no matter what I think. Approved by
Just
Josh
remember you
and
like their
whatever.
story.
Done.
Yeah.
You like their story.
You don't have to like everything, Josh, to use it.
That's,
Like, I don't like this picture right here.
Yeah, that's not my
Let's
favorite
see.
either. Interesting.
Yeah.
it's a great picture.
I use the 1 Minute Bible, not my favorite resource.
But the 2 days on the divided
Oh,
kingdom.
yeah.
Kidding. I kill kidding. Use it
Like,
all the
My
time.
faves.
The 1 MB all day long.
OMB?
No, it's a 1.
It's O for Omega.
You're so deep.
Oh, there it is.
All right. Carol Scott from San Antonio, Texas. I'm trying to become a rewinder, but it's pretty tough to actually listen to the old episodes. They're the real
Tell
definition of chim. Is it just me, or does Josh just look like an out-of-shape Mr. Incredible?
Everybody says that.
Watch
get
the
that a lot.
movie before you answer. And
I get
out
that a lot.
of shape.
Yeah.
Mr. Incredible was out of shape.
Yeah, you don't have to qualify that out of shape. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Like a super out of shape.
Yeah, I guess that's what they're saying.
No.
I get that all the
I think you
time.
look like the regular Mr. Incredible.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's why
I think
my
your
friend.
calves do.
I even went to Halloween.
You could paint your calves and dress them up. I don't know. Have you seen
Body
his
paint?
calves?
Yeah.
They're like
they're big.
world champion calves.
This is like the third podcast in a row we've talked about them.
In a row?
I'm just saying.
I don't think
His
so.
calves?
Either way,
Wanna bet
Rewinder.
on
for
that?
Halloween, 2 Halloweens ago, I went as Mr. Incredible and took pictures all night long.
And you
I'll never do it
look
again.
awesome.
Thank you. I was very.
Who do
very
people say you look like, Katie?
Reese Witherspoon.
Really?
I love it. Really?
No, it wasn't
Did
that.
you see the incredulous? Like, oh, no, I didn't get
I
that.
didn't know who
disappointed,
Reese-
weren't
I didn't know who Reese is.
No, I don't. Nobody.
Nobody?
I don't look like anybody.
Who do
really.
you get?
My mom. I look like my mom.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom Hanks with my long hair. When I was a little kid, I got like fuzzy.
When you were a little
You
kid.
do look like somebody.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
kind of look like Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I can see a little bit of that.
I mean,
If I just-
literally one picture do I look like Tom Hanks. It's really
I'd like to see that picture.
Doug, who do you look like?
That
Val Kilmer. Back in the day, I thought you looked just like Val Kilmer.
John Ritter.
When he used to have
I used to get John
Oh,
Ritter.
John
Ritter, yeah.
Three's
See that.
Company.
Yeah.
I used to get that a lot. When I had
Yeah,
a
your
mustache,
younger
I got a little
pictures.
bit of Tom
Tom
Selleck.
Yabba-dee-ba-da-dee.
Yeah.
Yeah, but John Ritter, I got a lot.
Definitely in your younger, like your early book pictures. Definitely.
Yeah.
John Ritter.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so Mr. Incredible. I've been in youth ministry 15 years, in the lead position for 9.5,
Awesome.
full time for 1. Those are a lot of
That's
numbers she's
impressive.
throwing around.
Yeah. Become a
Oh,
rewinder.
full time for one. Okay.
What's the best way to connect with students when the workers can't really contact them outside church events? We're prevented from the usual pick up a kid and hang out type of ministry, but I know relational ministry is best. We haven't had any scandals or anything for the record. I hope this makes the show. You guys are awesome. This has been a difficult question to write since I know Dougie is all particular about how people write. I don't want to look stupid. Insert
question.
Matt's wisdom here, blank. I'm guessing I don't have to include my name since I'm logged in.
Wow, that was a lot of
impressive.
comments.
I know.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have her name, so we
Yeah,
can't
well,
say
no,
it.
it's Carol Scott,
that's
and
really
maybe
bad.
it's spelled, maybe it's a male name. I don't know. Is
Oh, it
that
could be. That kind of does look like the guy.
Carroll?
The guy always spelled with a K.
double consonant.
Carol?
Carol.
Okay.
So, Carol.
No.
All right, Josh, how do you do
For a
that?
second.
I don't know. I forget the question.
Relational, but you can't. do
Doesn't
stuff
he look like
outside.
Mr. Incredible?
Ah.
Yes.
I'll jump in a little bit. I would say virtual connection is still great. Jump right in with Facebook, etc., assuming that is permitted.
Yeah.
And then make the most of your time when they do show up. If it's possible, have a student show up a little early and hang out, and then after or after a program, those feel like ideal times. Maybe even create a little bit of a relational atmosphere with
During the program.
Yeah, during the program, just to allow those relations. So if you can't do something at Taco Bell or visit the school for lunch or whatever, I would say virtual is great, and then attached to the program students are coming to. And then try to change the culture, because what if it's so fun.
Well, what if you
fun
got a
thing.
couple leaders to say, hey, on Wednesday afternoons, we're going to be at Taco Bell. And
Yeah.
it's not just you and that picking that kid up.
It's like a drop by.
There's a few of us there that just hanging out.
Yeah, that's a
It's
good
hard to
call.
know the culture of what's allowable and what's not, but I like the question because this person, Carol, he or she, still feels the the importance of it and senses the
Sure.
importance of
Totally.
it, but how do you do it? I mean, with social media, I feel like when my guys show up to my small group every week, I feel like I know what's going on in their
Totally.
life.
You're in the loop, yeah.
Totally, yeah, for sure.
Totally.
There's a couple of seniors this year that I know their families open up their house for like Taco Tuesday. They live close to the high school. Some things like that too. Maybe there's some families that might want to just open up some fun relational time too.
I even heard one of the parents talking about that not too long ago, and they were like, "It has cost us a fortune, and we would do it again tomorrow."
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really cool way of looking at it.
There's ways to be creative, I think, with relational
A
time.
fortune. If you have a fortune.
If you have a fortune, do Taco
hopefully you have a Costco or a Sam's Club nearby.
And if somebody knows about a fortune at this table, let's point
Who
to
is it?
this person.
I'm disappointed that we haven't seen any of that.
I'm disappointed. Not all of us can retire
That
before
we haven't seen. Mr. Incredible.
Oh, look, out of shape, Mr. Incredible.
Wow.
Cold, Carol.
Is it just me, or are we supposed to be doing a youth ministry podcast?
Matt just got back in the show. Here we go. Just as we're about to wrap it up, he gets in here. All right.
The disappointment from his workday just wore off. He was having that internal dialogue. I gotta suck it up.
I'm
I gotta
having a
suck
really
it
good
up.
time today.
I'm having a really good time too. Just very tired.
Come on, dude.
Is that what
I know.
it is?
Hey, it's midsummer. You got to motor through this thing. You got another month. We'll be back at school. So
How
come
about
on.
this? How about we send this person to the National Youth Workers Convention in Dallas free?
Oh,
Free.
wow.
That's the gift of the day.
Wow. Carol is coming
We're
to.
going to find out if he or she is a male or female.
That's
That's what we want to know.
I love
you
the
don't-
dramatic pause.
You don't
That
have to go
threw
to
me off.
Dallas. You could go to the National Youth Workers Convention in San Diego.
Where was he from? He or she from?
San Antonio, but there is one in Dallas.
Oh,
Let me
yeah.
give you the dates. I got to get through Matt's
That is
Twitters
such a
that he
good
sent
gift.
out that
That is.
really are.
You're going to San
You think
Diego. 'cause
auto
we're doing the
Twitters
show.
are bad, huh?
I think auto Twitters are fine, man.
Are you also going to
Giving
Dallas?
you a hard time.
No.
Yes,
I
you're
thought
going
we
to
were doing-
Dallas.
Yes, because we're doing another show
Yeah,
there.
we're going to do a show there.
I don't even know the dates. I got to
So
get that on
Can
my
you-
calendar.
Okay, here's the dates.
I'm in.
Write them
I
down.
love this
Write them
podcast.
down.
Write them in blood.
October 12th, 13th, and 14th
Oh,
is
the
the Youth
12th.
Specialties Convention.
Everything
You
that
should
happens on the
teach.
12th.
Come down. It's true.
Is okay, October 12th, 13th, 14th. That's San Diego.
Yep.
Then the next month,
Santiago.
November is going to be the 16th, 17th, and 18th. 16th, 17th,
And
and
we'll be
18th.
at both. All of us will, right, Matt?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
at least the three of us
Yeah.
will be.
we
Network,
we
Matt,
gotta
you can network there and see if you can find.
This is bad
This
rumors.
is terrible. This is terrible. Just because he had a bad day doesn't mean he's getting
That's
fired
True, that's true.
or quitting.
No, those are not likely at all. Matt, I guarantee you I'll get fired before you do.
No, you don't.
I
Matt.
will. You could be let go. You're in. All right, back to questions. Back to Carol.
So much for having just a transparent.
Well, it wasn't even that bad. I mean, it
It
was,
was just a rough day. We're just building on it.
Yeah.
We're
Hey,
building on
You're
it.
just heaping on.
Yeah.
Guys, sometimes middle of the summer, mid-July, it gets tough.
These are the dog days of summer.
It gets tough.
The dog days of summer.
Dog.
They are. They are.
All right, back to the
All right,
cues.
let's
Here we
move
go.
All right.
forward.
You know who loves that phrase?
Dog days?
Of the dog days of summer?
Insider person's
Diary
name
of a
coming in
Wicked.
3, 2, 1.
Rick Warren. He every
All right,
summer
not
for the
so
last
inside.
20 years, I hear him. And during summertime, he talks about the heat.
The dog days of summer. Oh, I love it.
Every summer he does.
Every summer.
I've got it redacted in my mind.
Good vocab.
Redacted is blacked out.
All right, here we go. This is from
That's one
Ben
of them, yeah.
Isaac.
Origins is the other.
It's from who?
Yep.
Who?
Ben Isaac. Here
Ben
we go.
Isaac.
East Lake, Texas.
Hello there, youth ministry royalty.
Oh,
I've been
must be
listening
referring to you.
to you guys since 00.
Sir Fields.
And
Excellent.
this is my
Good for
first
you.
time emailing you pretty chim guys and gals.
Oh,
wow.
Second gem.
First time writing, 187
Long time
episodes.
listener, first time email.
We've just already answered his questions before he even.
But I need your help. I'm at a crossroads and really need some advice. I've been a junior high volunteer since 2002, 10 years. And over the past few months, I felt a calling from God to take a step further into full-time youth ministry. Over the past few years, I've been really involved in our services, but my choice and my youth director's belief in me by speaking every other week at my 50 per service youth group, playing on the worship team, and connecting with students daily with text and Facebook. Okay, I read
did
it.
not really prep this question.
No, I prepped it.
Yeah,
but sometimes
this show. Good.
If you prepped it, how come there's no notes on paper?
circled to.
Oh, you do have a circle. Barely counts as a prep.
That's totally prep, dude.
I read
the
it.
word the.
I read it.
Just kidding.
right.
But here's the thing. I have no idea where to start to get paid in youth ministry. I've heard that a degree in youth ministry is not 100% necessary. I've heard that experience is the key to many youth ministry jobs. I've heard that you need a teaching credential. I've heard you may need a certificate, etc. So I was wondering what my best course to becoming a junior high pastor is. Thanks for all your insight and what you provide volunteers like myself so I make an impact in students' lives.
Shameless promotion for Youth Sphere coming in.
A quick shout out to Matt Sasso and Exit 83.
All right, there you go,
Oh.
Matt. Love that.
The one word I circled?
Well, I think it's a good question, and I would just give the big
Doesn't
picture.
it guarantee a youth ministry job?
Yeah,
Yes,
comes
it
with
does.
placement.
That's
I would just
right.
say big picture. There are many, many paths to full-time youth ministry. So I don't think there are better ways, no doubt, but there is no one official way.
Yeah.
So wherever you're sitting now, you're on your way. It's great.
Yeah. Get experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got it, 10 years. It wouldn't be a bad idea to get some education under your belt.
Mm-hmm.
We have a ministry program at Azusa,
Yep.
youth ministry.
Yep.
Certificate, well, guess what?
What
you
a
have
person. I hadn't thought about that.
Promo code for 10% off. What is it? YMG Sphere.
The YMG Sphere, go to youthsphere.com.
Longest code ever.
I know.
YMG Sphere 10, and you get 10% off.
Yeah.
Which is significant.
Yeah.
I would say that's a great idea. I'm excited about that program. I think it's good. I would also add to that and say, keep listening to the podcast and read. Be a reader and be a learner.
What about that resource? Should we point in that direction?
What is that? I can't remember.
Meg H Slingshot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's-
I think getting connected with Slingshot, who is always looking to place sharp people, is
Yeah.
a great thing to do. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
That's good, Matt. And the fact that you thought of that, I love that.
Good job,
I
buddy.
love that.
I do
about you.
prefer the newer model that is emerging, more of the placement type model rather than just job boards and job banks and whatever. But I kind of feel like there's a little bit of a networking thing that also, like, who do you know and who are you friends with, and not that you'd be that guy. Please don't be that guy.
What's that?
But that guy who like networks to a fault and is always looking for a job and is kind of like, how can I? Ugh, don't be that guy. But there is a little element of, if you're highly recommended by someone for a position, that's a huge win.
Yeah.
If someone were to highly recommend someone to me, I would give them a close look.
Yeah.
As opposed to a job bank or whatever.
Yeah.
So I would also say look around and look at your mentors and your whatever. So
Groovy.
Groovy.
All right. Is everybody okay to move on? Mm-hmm. One more question.
yeah, let's do it.
All right. Do we
No,
want
no free gifts for that guy at all. Nothing. Just
No, we're kind of
10%. 10% gift.
Yeah.
That's a gift.
YMG Sphere. SPHERE 10.
Got it.
All right. Do we want, you guys choose the question, a little choose your own adventure. New senior pastor question. A staying motivated question.
Oof, Matt.
Didn't we just talk about that last time?
Building a team question.
Senior pastor, 1 vote.
Senior pastor's good.
Okay.
2 votes.
Building a
I'm
team's
just happy
good
to
too.
do it. 2
All right.
out of 3. That's fine.
All right. This is from Angie, Dover, Delaware. Hey team, I'm wigging out here.
Wiggin.
And how about we change to which question I voted for?
We are having some adjustments in our church staff, and I do not like them. I do not like them.
people
Yes,
or
I
the
am.
Dr. Zeus wrote this email. Wigging out.
Wigging out.
Yeah, all right.
A year ago, we got a new associate pastor, and the adjustment to that has been pretty
You
good.
guys are so mean to people.
It has taken a long time. In 2 weeks, we're getting a new senior pastor, and I am freaking out, Green Eggs and Ham. My senior pastor. I did that only for
like
you.
it, dude. I'm taking it.
My senior pastor has allowed me total autonomy and absolute flexibility in my schedule. And you guys are going to have to help me remember the question because all I'm thinking is Dr. Seuss books. And I've just run out.
No,
Read the question.
Oh, here we go.
See
All
how
right.
you do.
My senior pastor has allowed me total autonomy and absolute flexibility in my schedule. He was very patient, understanding as I grew into the ministry, and I thought of him as a father. Obviously, it will be difficult to learn the personality of the new pastor and become accustomed to his way of doing things. And I know that that is just part of the ministry. But my attitude stinks, and I really want to leave the church and find a new position somewhere else. I don't want to be unfaithful to my call to this body of believers, but I just don't feel like I can handle this. What can I do to ease the adjustment for myself and my students? And what should I be concerned about with the new pastor? Should I even be concerned?
Awesome. So you don't like the new person,
But doesn't even know the new person.
and
I
you're
feel
not.
like it's too early to be alarming at an alarmist.
Little
place.
alarmist.
I mean, nervous. I understand when the new person comes in, there's the question marks and unknown, but really until you get there.
The key one to me, though, is when she mentioned the other former pastor being like a father figure, like raising her up in ministry. That's I don't know if anyone can come in and
It is a tough
Fill
act
those
to
roles.
follow.
Sure.
there's going to be a step pastor and there's going to be your original pastor, and that's it. So I would say this will be very difficult.
Yeah.
And I
And
think
it depends on how the new person is. I mean, we were. This is actually the source of the frustration that we were just the legitimate frustration that I was talking about, not
Yeah.
the do I want to go find a job? That frustration. Yeah. But the idea that for years, I mean, you and I worked together, and it wasn't easy on you at all, but it was great for me most of the time. And
Most of the time?
well, there were some times that you were just so disappointed. And
true.
You don't deny that.
No, I was going to say I can find few times I wasn't. But
two bright spots.
But you were never disappointed in Katie.
no, I never have been.
Still not. Golden child.
No, I didn't. But I mean, I never had. I mean, you were my hero in high school. You were my friend in high school, friend through college, and I came to work for you, and loved it. Long history, great friendship and life and everything. But no boss I've had since then
Yeah.
has been anywhere the same.
Yeah.
And so that's a tough thing.
Yeah.
That's a tough thing.
Yeah.
So maybe you just need
good.
to hire me again.
I was going to
Oh,
say,
wait a minute.
kind of just talking up a little bit, but I get you. Kind of sound like you're
See,
trying to get a
I
job.
can hire you at Youth Specialties. I can hire you at Homeward. I can hire you to
At Azusa Pacific.
speak with me.
That would
Those
be
are my
fun.
3 jobs.
Those are your 3 jobs.
You could carry my computer.
Which nowadays would be so much better than those early days. Oh, that compact. That's what I have nightmares over.
Let's tell that story next
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
It'll be a fun story. Yeah. Here's the deal. You just have to, Angie. You got to adjust your expectations. My first.
Ooh, are we supposed to say their name?
Yeah. My first church that I worked at for 11 years, which is the church that Matt is working at, the senior pastor and I had a very unique relationship. I helped him coach his son's baseball team. I was very involved in their life. I stayed true to that family for many years. I did all 3 of their kids' weddings. I actually was on the phone with him yesterday, still kind of a mentor of mine. But when I went to Saddleback, I expected that relationship to be the same.
Yeah.
Like, this is what a youth worker's
how
like
this
with
looks
a
like.
senior pastor. And it wasn't that same way. It was very, very different. It wasn't bad different. It was just different.
It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
It wasn't disappointing.
there was. I would say the first 2 years, I didn't think Rick liked me
Right there.
because we didn't hang out together.
Right.
And I hung out with my old pastor. My old
Yeah.
pastor. This is back in the day before email, when you actually had secretaries and
Call
stuff.
people.
He would call my assistant and say, "Tell Doug we have a meeting with Arnold at 2:00." And
That's
on a
cool.
Friday afternoon, I knew that Arnold meant there was a new Schwarzenegger movie coming out, and he would kidnap me, and we'd go to the movies together.
That's super cool.
So when I got to Saddleback, I thought,
he's going to make 2 more Terminator movies, by the way.
how great is that?
And that's the greatest.
So when I got to
We'll
Saddleback,
call you on Friday.
I thought Rick and I would be going to the movies together, and we'd just hanging out and the whole bit.
Right.
And,
Scooby-Doo.
and so I, for a couple of years, I thought maybe he doesn't even like me. Then I realized, wait, he doesn't do that with. He's not going to the movies with staff. He just relates at a different level. Rick was way more playful than my other pastor, but Rick was more playful in meetings, where the other pastor, we did stuff out together, and I coached with him and his kids. So I had a couple year adjustment to go. I have to rethink this. It isn't that Rick doesn't like me. I just need to go. I need to put my expectations in a different shelf because I was.
That's fair.
And I think Angie, you got to do that. He's not going to replace your senior pastor. You need to help him win.
Yes.
And I'm assuming it's a him that's coming in because you say that. But you need to help him win. You need to be his cheerleader. You need to make him look good. You need to talk highly behind his back. You need to do everything you can to set him up to win because he's in that position of leadership. You're supporting him in your role as a youth worker. And if you find yourself that you can't after a year or two, then move on.
Well, I think you're allowed to lament the loss of someone like this other guy in your life and the relationship. You're allowed that for sure.
Yeah.
But pretty soon, sounds like about now, that has to end, and the other things have to kick in that you talked about. So
Is
it's
the
okay
person
how you're
here yet?
feeling.
I don't think they're here yet.
No.
But they're on their way, or it sounds
yeah.
like they will be soon.
Oh, okay.
And
I see what you're saying.
this one sounds a little more
Did you read the
dramatic.
question?
I did.
But-
I thought his was contrary to the question.
But I would say one other thing I would say, pray for a miracle. And a miracle is a little stronger word than I really want to use, but whatever.
For
Because
God's Spirit to move.
yeah,
It's a lot more
something.
safe.
Pray
A
that
lot
there
more
that
gentle.
maybe this relationship could be, while it will be different, it would be
Think
exceptional
good thoughts.
and amazing. And pray that God would intervene and heal some of the loss that you feel and maybe some of the inadequacies in him, and it could be really great.
It's good. So I was paying attention, Josh.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was busy making
That was a great one.
wisecracks. One of your options in here is to go find another place. You'll have the same problem if you go to another place.
There you go.
So,
Yeah, you'll have just another senior pastor to get used to.
Yeah. Somehow it'll be easier though.
was
You know what?
It'll be hard to
Let's
say.
give Angie about
Don't you think?
leadership.
yeah, because you get to pick
Let's
your
give
new
her this
Yes,
book
yes.
right here
I think it's easier
called
later.
Moving On
No.
by Leader Tricks. It's called Moving On. Know where you're going and
That is
how to
just-
get there.
Well played.
That
How's
is
that for
just-
timing, huh?
Well played.
Your
that is
burden
so
plus your passion
cool.
plus your vision equals your mission.
You can move on in the
It's
same
going to help you
pace.
identify these clues by walking you through.
I need to read that. What's the difference
That's-
between burden and passion?
It's really great.
Oh, I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to. I'm going to read it
A
this
burden is heavy and a
Look
passion
at this.
is
Oh, it's got
exciting.
charts, Matt.
Oh,
There's a
you gotta
passion
love it.
survey.
Oh.
What's the difference? Read real quickly. What's the
It's time
difference?
to go.
Really quickly.
Why don't you read and close the show out by that? To everybody else, episode 187, you're the greatest. We love doing this show.
Yeah.
Send in your questions to youthministrygarage.com.
Yes.
Know that pretty soon we're going to be talking about Katie's blog. She's
Yeah.
entering the blogosphere. Matt will have a job next week, I'm positive.
Yeah.
Josh will be peppy and
I will.
Josh-like.
I will be.
And I will be disappointed in 2 of the 3 that are here.
That's us, dude.
All right. Love you guys. 187 out.
Out. Yeah, that
was my delete sign
right
you
there.
were so
Thank you.
good.
Hey, whoever's editing this,
Out.
I thought you wanted me to end with the difference.
I-
no,
He
we
was
don't.
kidding.
Everyone already
Oh,
left.
okay. So a burden breaks your